Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. This is Ed McMahon along with Doc Severinsen and the NBC Orchestra inviting you to join Johnny and his guests, Red Skelton, Sterling Hayden, and Anna Theodore. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
You were expecting Boy George? I saw that show with Joan. Wow. He's a strange guy, isn't he? Anyway, you sound good. This is the part of the show I like best. Walking through the curtains, coming out, standing on my star, listening to the applause. Unfortunately, NBC insists I do more. You in a good mood tonight? We got a good show for you. It was another bad day for me. My lawyer called me today and told me I lost custody of my Cabbage Patch Kid. I was watching television last night. I turned on the set. I saw hand-to-hand combat, war, people punching each other out. They were filming inside Toys R Us. What is going on? Have you read about this phenomena, the Cabbage Patch dolls?
Yeah.
How many of you have tried to get them? Apparently you can't get them anywhere. They sell for about $30. Mothers are going, I guess, bananas, trying to buy the Cabbage Patch Kid. One woman was such a frenzy. I understand she got in the store, bought 2 Cabbage Patch dolls, left her own kid in the store. What a phenomenon. How did this start?
I don't know.
Isn't
Advertising.
What?
Advertising.
Yeah, but the press picked it up.
Yeah.
There have been fistfights. Dolls have been kidnapped, held for ransom. It's pandemonium in the toy stores. Hervé Villechaize, you know, from Now, don't get ahead of me on that. He was shopping today at the May Company. He was mistaken for a Cabbage Patch Kid and forcibly gift wrapped. Even Leonard Nimoy can't find a Cabbage Patch Kid. It's tough. Unfortunately, I had a chance to invest in that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but my financial advisor, Bombastic Bushkin, says that'll go nowhere. I invested in the Toxic Dump Kids. Thanks. Kind of a nice doll. You squeeze it and it cries real acid rain tears. There's some good news and some bad news.
Uh-oh.
Well, you might think the good news is that New York Yankee owner George Steinbrenner, would you believe it, is firing manager Billy Martin again. Yeah. I don't know. Who cares? The bad news is he's hiring Yasser Arafat. No, the Yankees say Billy is not fired. He's just out with a cold. That's what they say about Yuri Andropov, you see. I was such a hit up till then. No, the Yankee owner, Steinbrenner, is a warm guy. He once told Lou Gehrig, "Look, I hate long goodbyes. Just clean out your locker."
Rules.
Have you sent out your Christmas cards yet?
Yes.
Did you read in the paper today that the Reagans, President and Mrs. Reagan, send out 75,000 Christmas cards? Yeah. Well, mine's probably in the mail. I haven't received it yet. I don't know where he's going to send it. I guess he sends them to friends and world leaders. And apparently the president must know what happened to our Russian leader because he addressed the card to Soviet leader Yuri Andropov, or occupant. You know, we have not seen the Mr. Andropov for about what? 2.5 or 3 months? And they keep saying, the Russian leader's saying that nothing is wrong, that he just has a cold. For 3.5 months. Poor man is sick from calling in with 109 fever for 3 months. I think that's what's probably doing. I had a joke there and lost it. And I knew on the way, as I was setting it up, that there was no end to it. And I proved it. See, when I tell a joke, I'll let you know. And I'll be honest, when I'm not going to end up with a joke, you'll also know immediately. Here comes a joke. No, you must understand, this next thing I'm going to tell you, I'm not saying it because out of ego or anything. I was in the market today on the TV Guide cover. I happen to be on the cover of Television Guide this week, which is, I guess, mainly sold what? In supermarkets? And you can't imagine what a thrill it is to know that right now, my face is at the bottom of millions of shopping bags with a rump roast dripping on it. I should mention, in all fairness, I'm not on the cover alone. It's a picture of Barbara Walters and myself. And I saw the magazine. I got scared for a minute. Saw the cover, and I thought it was this month's issue of Modern Bride. No, but anyway, Barbara Walters tonight on her show interviews me, and she interviews Walter Cronkite and Johnny Cash. And she's a very good interviewer. Barbara Walters reveals tonight that Cronkite, in all the 20 years he anchored the CBS News, for 20 years, he was bottomless. Well, tonight you're in a good mood. We've got a great show tonight. We have two fascinating gentlemen with us tonight and a great singer. First of all, one of the great clowns of all times, the zany, wild, and crazy Sterling Hayden is here. No, Mr. Red Skelton is here tonight. And a truly fine actor who's appeared in over 40 motion pictures. Mr. Sterling Hayden is here. And wonderful singer, Miss Donna Theodore. So stay where you are, and we'll be back in just a minute. We'll be back. Thank you.
When IBM personal computer owners look for good software, where can they turn? To IBM for programs that help you keep up with modern times. Business programs, entertainment, productivity, education, and more. The variety you want with the quality you expect in the growing library of IBM personal computer software. A well-balanced selection at a store near you.
To friendship, Senator.
To the treaty.
Vive la France.
No. Vive la California.
California?
Paul Masson Chablis is made with such care that most people prefer its taste to expensive French Chablis. Of course, Paul Masson was born in France.
Vive Paul Masson.
Ah, diplomacy. Paul Masson will sell no wine before it's time.
So, Doctor, I don't owe you anything?
Not a thing. If you're used to paying for routine doctor visits,
You're sure?
you'll just have to get used to Take Care.
I don't give you a form. Pay a deductible.
No, nothing. Take Care is one health plan that pays for doctors, hospitals,
Bye-bye.
and even those routine visits.
And nothing for the kids either.
Nothing at all. The whole idea of Take Care is to keep you healthy. You just have to get used to it.
Let me give you a ticket to Lucy's ball game.
Ask at work about Take Care, the HMO from Blue Cross of California.
For sensational gift ideas and prices to match, check out the Payless Christmas sale for values like these. Why not give Rush-Hampton's Ecologizer 4000 air treatment system this Christmas? Keeps air fresh continuously, $34.99 less a $5 factory rebate. Or the Dustbuster Black & Decker's time-saving cordless vacuum, no cord or hose, and it's rechargeable, only $24.99. Merry Christmas from Payless. Merry Christmas.
again.
Yeah, what a nice... Thank you. What a nice audience tonight.
Great crowd. Woo!
It's nice to come back from a week and have an audience
nice.
like this.
Yes.
Must be the holiday spirit.
That's what it is.
Or you're full of the... Yes, what is it? Is that my Arkansas pin? Thank you, gentlemen from Arkansas. It's a state pin. Thank you. What's AVA stand for?
Arkansas Vocational Association.
Arkansas Vocational Association. Okay, thank you. The rest of you who have gifts may leave them over here at the Johnny Carson Gift Boutique. You've been in the stores?
Yes.
It is absolute bedlam out there this year. I guess people feel that we're getting out of the recession.
Right.
But those Cabbage Patch dolls, I don't understand that.
That's great. You have to adopt them. You can't buy them. You must adopt them, apparently.
They come with papers or something.
Right.
Greatest marketing gimmick,
Oh,
and I
it's
guess
wonderful.
no two dolls are alike, and here we are talking about it.
Sure.
Which is only going to make more people want a Cabbage Patch doll.
I hope you get me one.
I was kind of hoping that you'd...
Oh, would be nice.
I can't find any. I've been shopping.
No,
for weeks.
really.
Anyway, let me tell you how I first met Red Skelton. I may have told this story on the air before, but when I first came to California in 1950, I was doing a show at KNXT, the local CBS channel on Vine Street. It was right across then from the Hollywood Ranch Market. And I had a 5-minute television show in the morning. It went from 8:55 to 9 o'clock. Well, if you take the half-hour station identification time, it really comes down to 4.5 minutes, right? It was sponsored by a coffee from the Midwest called Butternut Coffee. So by the time you take out the commercial, I had 3.5 minutes of show.
Right.
And I had a little 2-flat, and I had a little a door on 2 sawhorses. That was my desk. Very little money. So I would come in and do some jokes and what was going on in the paper. And one morning, just for the fun of it, I had the stage manager just run in front of the camera. You couldn't even see who it was. I says, "Hi, Red." I said, "That was today's guest, Red Skelton." And we don't have any more time to talk with him because of the limits of our show. I got a call on the telephone from Red Skelton, who watches a lot of television. He's a television fan. And he's watching a local kid in a local station here in Los Angeles do this show. He says, "Would you like me to come down and be on the show?" I said, "You've got to be kidding." Next morning, he gets in his car. He drives down from his home. Red Skelton shows up at KNXT. And I was been a fan of Red since I was a kid. He says, "What would you like me to do?" And I said, "Well, if you don't mind, nothing." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I just want you to sit behind me, and I'll do the show, and you just sit there." He said, "Okay." So I came out and I'd do my 3 minutes of jokes and so forth. And at the end of the show, I turned around and I said, "And what's your name?" And he would say, "I'm Red Skelton." And I would say, "A likely story." And I'd say, "Thank you, we'll see you tomorrow." This went on for about 7 or 8 shows. This man got in the car, drove down. I didn't let him for 6 days, and the final day we opened up the show, and I found the Kinney the other day at home. I still have that little segment. And I was bound and gagged. My hands were tied, the gag, and Red was sat there and did the 3.5 minutes, did the commercial and everything. Right. And that is the way we met. So he is a unique performer. He is truly one of the great clowns, and he is also an accomplished painter. I think around 36 galleries sell Red's paintings. He's a composer of music, written many, many symphonies. He writes fiction, and he's constantly out working. He's doing college concerts all the time. He's 60 years in show business, if you can believe it. Friends to 7 presidents. Audiences with 3 popes. I haven't made that yet.
No.
I met Count Basie once. Would you welcome, please, a truly great clown, Mr. Red Skelton.
Hi, do you pull that thing out so I can put my little feet on there?
Well, you're tall. You're a tall man.
I know,
You don't need
yeah.
that stuff. What are you, 6'3"?
I was 6'3". I'm 6'2" now. As you get older, you shrink.
That's why I read that.
Yeah, the cartilages all get smaller. You look good. You
Thank
look
you,
good.
sir.
I got my Christmas card from the president. Did you get yours?
Yes, I did.
Mine's in the mail.
And I got you a cabbage doll.
Yeah,
today.
I don't know if you heard the story I was telling before you came out about you coming down to that local show I used to do in KNXT, where you sat there day after day after day, and then we ended up you doing the show?
Yeah. That was a lot of fun in those days.
Yeah.
And like you say, 60 years in show business, you know. And people, they walk up and say, you look good and all that stuff, you know. Well, one lady came up and says, Red Skelton, the first time I've ever seen you live.
How are you feeling? You look wonderful.
Wonderful. I don't let age bother me. I'm hanging around long enough to see who gets Brooke Shields. You know how I start the day off?
Yeah.
I open my eyes, and if I don't see candles and smell flowers, I get up. Then I thumb my way through Playboy to get my heart started.
You haven't changed at all.
What? What?
Are you into...
I haven't changed.
Yeah, no.
I put on fresh stuff today.
Oh, no, I mean... Are you into any of this running and stuff they're all doing now? Aerobics or anything? Exercise?
Yeah, naps.
Naps. The aerobic naps.
Aerobic naps, I think. No, the only exercise I get is acting as pallbearer for my friends who exercise a lot.
Yeah, you got it.
You know, Johnny, I play a lot of colleges.
Yeah.
And I mean a lot of things. I'm in this satellite business now, raw satellites, you know?
Yeah.
And I play the colleges. And I must say something to you. I tell the students, I said, this is one of the greatest men. I think, truthfully, you are a greater wit and humorist than Will Rogers in this respect. He was great, don't get me wrong. But he had to go out, he'd go out and use the same topical joke maybe for a week, 2 weeks.
In what?
Where you have to come out every night when you're here.
And you were doing so good.
You have to go out every night and in your monologue and you tell topical jokes. What you're doing, you're releasing a vent in all the people because they're all looking for something to find humor in the things that are happening each day. And sometimes you'll look at the audience if though, well, that didn't go too good. But they are. You're only playing to 2 people. They're at home right now in bed, see? And, yeah. Now, these people here, when they all say, gee, I hope at the office they didn't hear this because I can use it tomorrow. So the best you're going to get from them is intellectual nods. See?
Oh, that's nice of you to say.
No, that's true. And you're a great inspiration for the students.
Oh, thank you.
I figure if you could make it, so can they.
I'm going to tell that story, too, when we come back. What do I got? Oh, good. All right, I got to sell something here. All right. Is this it here? Good, just in time. You may need one of these. This is this is a new sponsor, so I have to do this very nicely. Tonight, we'd like to welcome a new sponsor. I just get near you and I start to do this. Too cute to do. Dorsey Labs of Lincoln, Nebraska, makers of Triminic. You love these, Triminic.
This is how some people treat their colds. They over-medicate, which is why Triaminic offers you a choice of 4 different liquid cold medicines, and now 2 new cold tablets. Introducing Triaminic Cold Tablets and Triaminicol Multi-Symptom Cold Tablets. Each formula gives you specific relief for just the cold symptoms you have. So don't over-medicate. Get Triaminic Cold Liquids or new cold tablets. After all, why take more cold medicine than you need?
We're back. Thank you, Doc.
Could you hear him?
Oh, yeah. We're talking with Richard Skelton.
That's my maiden name.
Yeah. When's the first time they called you Red?
Well, that's my middle name.
Yeah.
The teacher one day says, what is your middle name? I says, Red. She says, no, that's a nickname. I said, no, it's Red. She says, no, that's a nickname. Go home and find out what your middle name is. So I went home and I said to my mother, what's my middle name? She said, I'll hit you in the mouth. Well, the teacher says, well, my name's not Red. She says, well, that's your name. So I went back to school and said, what's your name? I said, it's Red, my middle name. She said, no. Now, don't come back until you've got a middle name. So I went home, and my mother said, make up one. So I looked in the newspaper, and there's a place in Vincennes called Bernard's Clothery. So I said, that's my name, Bernard. So I went to school, and I says, what's your name? She says, Bernard. She says, see, I told you had a middle name. Then later on, I was in Washington, D.C., and J. Edgar Hoover says, well, how are you, Bernard? I said, Bernard? Where'd you get that? He says, it's on your dossier here.
You're kidding.
Yeah,
So you put up a phony name and they had it?
Yeah, they have it there. They have it there. But Red is my middle name.
Yeah.
I was
Vincennes, Indiana, right?
Yeah, my home.
What's the very first show you ever played that you remember, being on the stage in front of an audience?
With doing a show myself?
Yeah, or anything.
With a medicine show. A medicine show is a platform out in an open field, and you do a performance, and then you sell the product.
Right.
They call it television now.
Is that the same time as Chautauqua?
Chautauquas. I played a Chautauqua.
Yeah.
I was with an Uncle Tom's Cabin show. You know what Uncle Tom's Cabin show is? It's Uncle Tom, this is the play. I played every part but Mrs. Sinclair. I played Eliza crossing the ice, and I was just a little kid, but I'm all blacked up, you know. And I had to put a half a pound of liver in my pocket so the dogs would follow me across the stage. So I was anemic, you know. And then I played Little Eva, and that's when I got fired. I'm on this, I've got this wig on and this long dress and stuff, and I'm hanging on a wire, see? And they're turning a crank in the back, and you see the clouds going by, and Uncle Tom's laying down in the pig pen dying, and the wires starts turning like this. And I says, I'll see you later, Tom. I'm backing into heaven. And I got fired.
Not a bad ad-lib, though.
Well, at that time it was all right, you know. I played Uncle Tom once, and it was raining, and there was a hole in the tent. The water kept hitting me, and I said, good Lord, I'm turning white.
What was burlesque like? Most people think burlesque was strippers. It wasn't such. Burlesque was family entertainment, wasn't it?
No, family entertainment. It was. When I was in, you couldn't say hell or damn, you know. And you ever had things bother you right in the middle of answering something?
Yeah.
It just dawned on me, mentioning that. People in hell, where do they tell people to go?
Burbank?
Another thing I can't figure out is why do they have a handicapped parking lot, a space rather, in front of a liquor store?
You've been giving this a lot of thought, haven't you?
Yeah, another thing. How can your wife see a little blonde hair on your coat and miss the garage door? Huh? I have one you can answer for me. That new automobile, the DeLorean, is that a garage car?
Yeah.
Don't go. You only heard one lousy joke. I've stuck with thousands of them.
You never liked these, do you?
No, I
I've
never
known you
liked
for many
them.
years.
No.
You carry this expensive cigar. Is
Yeah,
it?
but the United States Tobacco Company gives them to me.
Yeah?
Yeah. I do their commercials for them, you know.
I see. But
As a matter of fact, I just did one of it.
Yes, you did, as a matter of fact. So you just hold that and...
I just hold them. I think it's must be a form of security in a way. I used to use a corn cob when I was in burlesque. Is that a tramp comic, and they had a corn cob. Then I used a rubber cigar. And when I was in burlesque, Matty Ellison, the straight man, says, why don't you learn to do all those things you're doing with that cigar with a real one? So I did. And after that show was over, the matinee show, the first show, we used to do 2 shows a day, one in the afternoon, one at night. Guy came backstage and says, you ever thought about going into vaudeville? I said, who hasn't? He says, well, the guy in my act is leaving in 2 weeks. I'd like to see. So I've always connected this with money, you know?
Security.
Yeah, security. I was only getting $50 a week when I was in burlesque, you know. You want to know something? They could have paid me $1,000 a week because they weren't even giving me my 50.
Makes no difference. We got to take a break, but we're coming back. Stay there.
5 years ago, a family of wines came along that completely changed the American wine business. Its name was Taylor California Cellars, and it gave America something it didn't have. Wines of extraordinary quality at an affordable price. Wine expert after wine expert has recognized that quality. And today, millions of people, drinkers of Inglenook, Almaden, and other California wines, are drinking Taylor California Cellars. Are they better wines? Judge for yourself.
Friday is Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn. She has one husband in her bed and one husband underneath her. In the blockbuster comedy, Seems Like Old Time, Friday.
Tonight on Late Night, actress Amy Irving, Professor Irwin Corey, and we have actual bloodhounds chasing our own announcer, Mr. Bill Wendell, through the 6th floor. Should be fun, so join us, won't you? Thank you.
TV's down-home chef, Sarah Rawls.
Hey, this is some turkey.
That's right, Sammy, and the secret to my turkey or my roast chicken is plenty of seasonings and accents, both inside and out, and in the stuffing.
Now you're cooking.
Honey, when I use accent, I'm always cooking.
Where's yours, sir?
Accent flavor enhancer. It wakes up food flavor.
We're back. Talking with Red Skelton. I've told you this story before, and I've told it on the air, but I'm going to tell it briefly, because I wrote for you one season. I was one of the writers, and I'd sit at home trying to write jokes, and you were doing, you know, occasionally you do Heathcliff and Gertrude, the two seagulls. So I'm sitting one night, and I'm sitting in front of a mirror, to try to get the feeling, you know, and I'm going, Gertrude said to Heathcliff. And my wife walked in. And she saw this grown man with his thumbs under his armpits going, and she knew there was trouble in the marriage right then and there. And she said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm writing. You would sit and do that.
She says, I hope it's a check for the cat.
What's the favorite character the kids ask for nowadays?
Oh,
Mean Little Kid, Freddie the Freeloader?
Junior?
Sure.
Junior, the mean little kid.
Yeah.
Junior says, yes, Junior, you pulling that cat's tail? No, I'm not pulling the cat's tail. I'm holding on. He's doing the pulling.
How's Clem? Clem.
They like Clem Cadiddlehopper. He says, well, sir, since I saw you last, I got married. I had a military wedding. There were guns there, let's put it that way. I met my wife through her brother. He says to me, would you like to meet one of my sisters? I said, you got sisters? He says, I got two. One's name's Lassie and the other's Hortense. I said, Lassie's a dog. He says, wait till you see Hortense. Gertrude and Heathcliff.
Oh, yeah, you got to do it.
She says, we've been waiting around her all day for Herman the pigeon. And wonder what's keeping him. She says, I don't know what's keeping Herman. So Herman comes in, he had got a feather on him, and he's walking people-toed. See? And he got a feather on him, and Heathcliff says, what on earth happened to you? He says, the worst thing ever happened to me. I was flying too low over Beverly Hills, and I got in the damnedest badminton game you ever saw.
That's wonderful. Yeah, you got to get back on television. You ever would like to come back and do a...
Oh, well, I'm on that home box office thing quite
That's
a bit.
right. I did. I saw your... I think you were back in one of the columns. Wonderful. You were wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I miss television every chance I get.
I knew you were going to do it.
No. It's like I say about my wife's cooking. I say I miss my wife's cooking every chance I get, you know. I'm not a good cook, but even I know you don't open a grapefruit with a can opener. But I say one nice thing about my wife's cooking. She broke that dog from begging at the table.
It's fun to be around you again.
Oh, thank you.
Some of the best times I ever had in my life was hanging around CBS in the 50s when you were on the air and all those great shows came out, Playhouse 90 and Bob Crosby and Art Linkletter
Yeah.
and all those great shows were working there. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, well, you're a wonderful man to
Well,
be around.
You taught me a lot. I stole a lot from you.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yes, I did.
No. It's like the students. They say, when Johnny was with you at one time, you helped him get... I said, no, nobody helps you get started. If you've got talent, they can put you behind a brick wall. You'll come through, you know?
Yeah, that's nice.
So that's what you have.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Thanks, Red.
The other guys may clown around, but you can trust Miracle for honest estimates, quality work, and fair prices. Guaranteed.
Okay, I told you earlier. My next guest, Donna Theodore, is really a wonderful singer and entertainer. She's going to be starring in a play called Here's Love at the Music Hall in Houston, Texas, of course, which runs December 21st through January 1st. And then she'll be at the Palmer House in Chicago on January the 8th and January the 15th in San Antonio, Texas. Would you welcome Miss Donna Theodore?
Midnight, not a sound from the pavement. Has the moon lost her memory? She is smiling alone in the lamplight. The withered leaves collect at my feet, and the wind begins to moan. Memory, all alone in the moonlight, I can smile at the old days. Life was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory live again. Every street lamp seems to beat a fatalistic warning. A street lamp sputters and the night gutters, and soon it will be morning. Daylight, I must wait for the sunrise. I must think of a new life, and I mustn't give in. When the dawn comes, tonight will be a memory too. Look, a new day will begin. Mountains of smoky days, the stale, cold smell of morning. A street lamp dies, another night is over. Another day is dawning. Talk to me
Donna Theodore. Oh, that's nice. We will take a break. We'll be right back. Stay where you are. Thank you, Doc. We are back. My next guest, Sterling Hayden, has been a major motion picture star for over 40 years and starred in almost 40 pictures and directed some of them. And he's somewhat of a maverick. And he's written, good heavens. He's written 2 best-selling books, one called Wander and Voyage, about, I think, probably the real love of his life, which is oceans and sailing ships. And he's written an introduction to a new book called Down to the Sea. Would you welcome, please, Mr. Sterling Hayden. You're an imposing figure.
Well, I'm tall enough anyway. You can't judge the book by the cover, somebody said.
You look like you're ready to lead the audience out of Burbank.
Anytime.
How you been? We haven't seen you for a
fine.
while.
Did you get the cable I sent you a couple of days ago?
No.
I sent you a cable, my friend, and I apologize.
was on vacation last week.
I know you were.
Yeah.
But I apologize for my inept appearance with you the last time you and I met, I believe, a long time ago.
You had just written the book Wander.
Yeah, before. I'd just come in from Tahiti, I think.
Right.
And I came on, and it was amusing to me because I didn't know what I was doing, and you ran me right out of here fast.
No, those were the days when you were known to have a small container of the beverage of your choice, right?
Well, that mostly came later.
Yeah.
I had it then, but it didn't get wound up until later, you know.
Yeah.
In fact, one reason I am very sort of flattered and honored to be here with you and on this book is I just wrote an introduction, 900 words. But first thing I've ever had published that I wrote when I was out in the drinking mode, shall we say, drinking mode. And it was tough. It's tough.
Do you miss that? I mean...
Yeah, I miss not being able to wind down. Eh?
Yeah.
Don't
how
we
do you,
all?
Yeah, how do you wind down now?
That's a good question. That's a good question. There's no way.
You never wind down, certainly?
Well,
wind down with wine.
I didn't want to say, no, I don't. I've been dry 22 bloody beautiful months now, and it's war. It's war.
It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy.
Thank you.
People who've been through that know that it is not easy.
Yeah.
Is your life happier now?
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, I pretty near took myself out, to tell you the truth. I drank through antabuse once in a hotel in New York. Yeah, I lay 6 hours paralyzed in a hotel room. I'd been to Tito's funeral, and I'd taken antabuse. A doctor up in San Francisco gave me the antabuse, and I took it because I knew I might want to drink because I'd been there in the ward.
Antabuse is the thing you take, and when you take alcohol, it makes you violently ill.
Yeah. So somebody said it combined with alcohol, it creates a chemical virtually like embalming fluid. See? And I drank right through that, and then I fell. But we laugh. It's funny how we laugh.
Yes,
I laugh all the time. All my friends do, and yet we die, and maybe we laugh for the obvious reasons.
Yeah. Well.
You're
anyway,
looking well, man.
So are you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's nice to see you again.
Thanks.
You have also some interesting ideas about, if I remember, about money. A lot of people equate success with having a lot of money. You're not particularly for saving money, are you? As such, or just accumulating it?
I never have. No, I've never owned a house. I've never had a bond or a stock. Of course, I've been very lucky. Anybody that's in this business, even the way I'm in it, which is the opposite of the way you gentlemen are all in it. I mean, I'm a sort of a ringer, eh?
Right.
Always have been. But something said to me, keep it marginal, and I've never saved anything really. And I've got a canal barge over in Europe, and I've never, like I said, never had a house, but I had 14, 15 vessels, and maybe that's the same thing.
Right.
And we'll see what happens. Huh?
Yeah. You're not worried about security? People always say, well, I want to have something for a rainy day, or
well, I had a lawyer once who set up a pension plan or something, but that's going by the board, I think. No, I'm worried really. The only thing that's been bothering me the last 15 years was the ability to function, eh? And of course, there's where the booze comes back in, because I'm a sort of an alcoholic's alcoholic, and yeah.
Kind of a nice claim to fame there, I mean.
Yeah, in a way. I I still got all the bottles lined up in my in my loft over behind the sink, and I talk to them. I thank them.
Yeah.
I thank them for some of the best beautiful times of my life.
Yeah.
Sure. But
tell me about this barge. You have a canal barge?
yeah, I bought a canal barge about 15 years ago in Rotterdam.
Right.
I read a story once of Stevenson's. He talked about the life on the canals, and I've been. I've always liked to sort of. Take it easy, you know. Yeah. I'm pretty good when it comes to laying back, and I like beauty, and of course the beauty of that, and you get away from the Mickey Mouse and the Winnebago, and you know what I mean, the whole thing. It's another world.
Yeah.
And,
a couple of years ago, more than a couple, you defied, I believe, the judge's order or something, and you took your kids and just departed and went on this voyage.
Yes, that was a convoluted thing. Yeah. Mr. Mitchelson was involved with that.
Yeah.
He was representing my. Ex-wife at that time, and I just went. The obvious thing was to. I had a big ship and all ready to go, so I went. You know, Tahiti. Yeah.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Now we've got some film of. I guess this is schooners, right?
Yeah, Gloucester. Should I say just a couple of words?
Sure, please do.
Well, Gloucester, Mass. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm sure most everybody is familiar with it. It's a rather glorious town. It's a glorious, hard-bit, working, fishing town. And over the years, they created a certain type of vessel. These pictures in this book somehow capture the spirit of that. And since Gloucester gave me so much, that's why I was glad to write the introduction. But this footage shows, I think, far and away, bar none, the most marvelous shots of big vessels sailing hard.
Okay, let's watch it.
And I'll say no more.
You can just talk over the film here if you want to.
Yeah. This is back in about, I guess this is in 32 or 33.
This is North Atlantic?
Yeah, this is off Gloucester in Boston. This is actually a schooner called the Elsie. You see the dories they used to fish in. This was all shot by newsreel men. There she goes. That's a big schooner I was in called the Gertrude L. Tabo. That's back to the Elsie. In a minute here, she really gets rolling. The vessels are all gone now, of course. There's a shot looking at it. They're 140 feet long.
Right, I was just going to ask.
And 40 men in the crew. This was actually racing. There you go. That's hard stuff to beat, you know.
That is incredible footage.
That's doing about 15 and a half knots. Yeah. Hollywood, you know, has never been able to capture the spirit of sailing ships.
Not really, because
no.
It is rather hard to fake, isn't it? I mean, something that's...
No, you cannot do it. Yeah, Gloucester.
Have you ever sailed in conditions, anything similar to this at all?
Yes, yeah, I was in a couple of those. I was in a vessel, was in some of those shots, yeah.
That's incredible footage. That's incredible footage.
That one was for old Ben. There's a picture there of that man up on the boom. He was doing the same thing. He gave me this footage, and I gave the rest of it to the Smithsonian. And yeah.
Book is called Down to the Sea. You going to go out on another voyage?
No, I don't think so. Of course, the greatest voyage, I guess, has been for me, if I may say so, has been discovering I was able to write a bit late in life, you know. Yes. I always wanted to, and then not until I came back from Tahiti, I guess in '60, I was 44, and suddenly, by golly, I went to work.
Are you still writing now?
Yeah, I'm slamming away. It's very odd again not without the lubricant in terms of working, but my heavens, again, we you know, we blast ourselves apart working, and then in the evening, well, we all know this, I imagine.
Just relax.
Judging by that reaction a while ago there. Yeah.
You did a lot of television in the early days, didn't you? Live television.
Yeah, I did over 4 or 5 Playhouse 90s. Yeah, scared me to death, the first one. I think more of that is nothing, all that stuff. I mean, at least I knew what I was doing there. Yeah. You see, unlike you, gentlemen, and the lady was here, I came into this business cold. I came right off those vessels. I came out to Paramount, and I was halfway through my second picture before I knew which way upstage was. Yeah. Director said, take one step upstage, Mr. Hayden. You can be sure I went the wrong way, you know? Yeah. And I was uncomfortable. And then when live TV came in, it was after the war, of course, and there was big Playhouse 90s. But I quit one Playhouse 90 because I didn't feel I could handle it, you know?
Yeah.
Went home, put the script in the incinerator in Sherman Oaks, and consulted with a psychoanalyst that night, with a director and a producer, and decided to go ahead and try it, and it worked. So, yeah.
You ought to be getting a lot of work this time of year with Christmas coming. You'd make a great Santa Claus, you know? I mean, you'd be sensational. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Good to see you.
Tonight's show continues.
Tomorrow at 4, more and more men are using makeup. Check out the latest in men's cosmetics. TGI 4.
How can you be sure your broccoli tastes fresh? Just look for Bird's Eye's guarantee that it's picked and frozen the same day. For a taste you'll be proud of, come to Bird's Eye.
Take a good look at all the excitement on the next Entertainment Tonight. First, a preview of what's coming up from Hollywood's hot composer Michael Cimbello, the man behind the Flashdance hit Maniac. Then, see how a good old Texas boy is coping with Hollywood's glitter in a down-home visit with Matt Houston's Lee Horsley.
Your life does turn upside down virtually overnight.
Entertainment's hottest stars on the next Entertainment Tonight.
Weekdays at 3:30 and 7:30 p.m.
When we created Le Tigre for men, we created more than great sportswear. We just may have created a monster.
Yeah, we're back. I wanted to show, before we leave, I wanted to show a couple of these. Do you mind?
Yeah, all right.
I had these back here because I asked Red to put them here. It was talking about your work that you do. You do a lot of clowns. And these things, have I not seen something like this on one of the airlines or something?
Yeah. These are, what I do, I do about 125 concerts a year, so I'm mostly on airlines. So I steal their napkins.
Yeah.
And they pay well, too.
Look at this little kid here.
Yeah, a little kid eating his shoe, yeah. You know, there are 36 galleries across the country, and there's 10 in Honolulu and 2 on Maui.
Yeah.
And they have my originals in Honolulu.
You still do this regularly? Regularly all the time?
Oh, yeah, I always do that. Not when I'm asleep, but I paint till about 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, but you know when you paint, you got to be careful because you believe what people tell you. I painted some yellow flowers, and they said, "Where'd you get the Van Gogh?" I said, "That's not a Van Gogh. I painted." I said, "That's a Van Gogh." I said, "No, I painted." "Well, you're another Van Gogh." Well, you get to believe this, see? Finally, my wife Lothian one night, she says, "What's this Van Gogh stuff that you're Red Skelton?" I said, "Yeah." Well, I felt so stupid. I went down to the hospital and had him sew my ear back on.
I was wondering what the finish was. You know, it's great having you here tonight, really.
Thank you, sir.
I enjoyed seeing you.
Thank you.
Where do you make home now? Where's home for you?
Well, mostly, since in order to break the bloody bottle, I went to a place called Hazelton, Minnesota.
Right.
And that turned me around. And since then, I've sort of needed a year or so. My family, my beautiful, exquisite wife is in Connecticut with a home. I'm in Sausalito, and my ship is in Rotterdam. And tonight I'm here, and I thank you for that.
Well, we're delighted.
Well, you're like me. I belong to Alcoholics Anonymous. I never attend meetings. I just send in empties. They give me credit.
Good night time. Thank you, Shirley. Thanks for being with us. Thank you, Red. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Next on Late Night with David Letterman, meet Professor Irwin Corey and actress Amy Irving, starring in Yentl. All on NBC. Be there.